Minnesota 27-0. And another tight one in the Big Ten. It's number 19 Wisconsin trailing Iowa 10-6. That one late stages of the fourth quarter. Many top 25 matchups still to come today. 3:30 Eastern, number 13 Bama visiting number 8 Georgia at 8 o'clock. It's Notre Dame and Clemson, 6 versus 12, a battle of undefeated teams. Tigers head coach Dabo Swinney says the rankings, they don't matter.
Well, I mean, nobody's going to give us anything. I mean, it's just that simple. We got to earn it. I have to do a poll every week, and it's such a waste of my time. There shouldn't be a poll till October. I mean, those same people who don't believe in us, they're the same people who believed in Auburn and believed in Arizona State and Oregon and, you know, all the other teams that are supposed to be number one in the country.
And Irish head man Brian Kelly knows that Memorial Stadium, known as Death Valley, will be a tough place to play.
They've got a good football team. It's well coached. You know, all those things equal it. Our team will have to play well. I think if you play well, you tend to quiet crowds down.
Over to the diamond with a quick check of scores. Orioles all over the Yankees 9-2 top of the eighth and some playoff implications. Twins and Royals tied at 1 top of the seventh. If Minnesota loses, they are eliminated from playoff contention. And a 5-5 game, bottom of the fifth, Angels and Rangers. I'm Keith Irizarry. This is NBC Sports Radio and the NBC Sports Radio mobile app.
This is KCAA.
Slam the door on FeePay. Forget everything you know about selling online because I'm here to tell you about a new and revolutionary way to buy and sell on the internet. BuySellMakeOffer.com is here to shake up the web. Tired of paying those outrageous fees? You'll never pay a fee with BuySellMakeOffer.com. For a monthly membership package starting at only $7.95, you can list and sell up to 50 items. That would cost you nearly $100 with the other guys. Go right now to BuySellMakeOffer.com and sign up today.
As the owner of my business, I wear a lot of hats. I'm accounting, sales, and so much more. But I don't know marketing.
Let Dex Media be your marketing department. Our team can create a digital plan for you with everything from search to social. Contact Dex Media, that's DEX Media, to get found, get chosen, and get talked about.
Whoa, that's a job for cleanup, which would be me.
Call 844-230-3436 or visit dexmedia.com today.
Kcaa.
We found the problem with your car. Turns out the carburetor differential modulator is out.
What?
And while we were digging around in there, this thing fell off.
Stop. There's no automotive repair nightmares at Diego Martinez's 5-Star Automotive in San Bernardino. 5-Star Automotive, where you'll get a great experience and home of the $15.99 oil change. That's right, just $15.99. They specialize in transmissions, brake repair, AC, and many other repairs, all with a lifetime warranty on parts and labor. Diego knows when your auto needs 5-star attention, it's never convenient. He offers a 12-month interest-free auto repair loan on major auto repairs with no money down. He'll even throw in free towing and a 10% discount for his neighbors in the 909 who work for the city and county of San Bernardino. Call 909-387-0770. That's 387-0770. Your neighbors at 909 West 2nd Street in San Bernardino.
1050 a.m. Don't forget that number. And for you young people who got here by accidentally fat-fingering your FM band selector, we're an AM radio station. And AM refers to more than just the time of day.
Welcome to I'm Mad as Hell with Lloyd Brock and Greg Simpson. Now, if you want to share your anger, this is the station, KCAA, every Saturday at 12 noon. If you're mad as hell at the government, politicians, IRS, your bank, a car dealer, or the court system, let us know. You may want to be one of our in-studio guests, or just call in and vent that anger. 1-888-909-1050 or 909-888-5222 locally. We may not be able to resolve your individual problems, but we will give you a forum to share your anger with our listeners. Now, join us at KCAA 1050 AM and at kcaaradio.com or check us out at Ustream. Now, here's Lloyd and Greg.
am I mad?
What are you mad about today?
These pharmaceutical companies.
What about them?
Just reading today's newspaper makes you angry.
I didn't read today's newspaper.
Well, you should have. Okay. Because it says right here, and this is David Lazarus with the LA Times.
Okay.
He said a $3,900 bill for one injection.
Uh-huh.
These outrageous prices, and these are for specialty drugs. And it says these are high-priced drugs that you've seen in the news lately, such as hepatitis C drug, and it costs an eye-popping $1,000 a pill.
Okay.
One pill.
You don't have to go that far, though. I take a drug called Androgel. Everybody needs it that has testosterone problem. $1,000 a month. One bottle, $1,000. $986.
Did it do any good?
No.
Who paid for it?
Well, workman's comp for a long time. I'm not on workman's comp anymore, so it comes out of my pocket.
See, now that's the problem.
That's the problem.
If you're on Obamacare, they're not going to pay for this.
No, heck no.
I guess you're going to die.
Yeah, you're just.
And yet Hillary Clinton came out and says the price gouging like this in this specialty drug market is outrageous. Well, she approved Obamacare.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not going to pay for that. But, I mean, it is outrageous. This one guy went to UCLA for a problem and needed a specialty drug for his daughter. She was diagnosed with the hormone disorder. And they said it cost $500. And he said, okay. He gets the bill, and it comes out to, instead of $500, it said the bill arrived, and the copay wasn't $500, it was $3,908.71. And the price of a 30 milligram injection of the drug, according to the bill, was $19,827.90. Can you imagine that?
No, I
and
can't.
They said she needed 3 of those, so he said the charges are approaching $80,000. Now, most people cannot afford that. That's why they're losing houses and things like that. And they still do under this Obamacare.
Yeah,
because they're not going to pay for those.
No, they're not. They're going to have to pay it out of their pocket or something. Like I had an experimental drug used on my. I had a fell knee syndrome, and they were using a reverse Botox. And my doctor, my pain management doctor, asked if I wanted to be the guinea pig, that he could get the medicine donated. $100,000 an injection. 2 injections, they did nothing.
$200,000?
$200,000 for 2 injections into the knee, and
it was experimental.
Experimental, yes, and they were worthless.
But in Canada, these same drugs that they're charging a fortune for here are much less.
Oh yes,
and in Europe too.
Yep.
So what is the reason? They say it's research, but there's these. If you have an ailment that isn't too common, and they're trying to do a drug for it, they claim it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. So they're going to make up for it with 2 injections, 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's unbelievable too that can go on.
We've got to do something about it. So I mean, next year in 2016, elections coming up. Yeah,
you darn
do
right.
something about it. Make sure that your politicians.
Let's change it.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And what do you have? What do you?
I'm mad I was mad as hell Monday. I had a special dog food. My wife has a service dog, and she eats special food because she's on a raw fed diet, which means she eats raw meat.
It's not as expensive as these specialty drugs, though.
No, but they have a product called tripe, which is the guts of the animal, and it comes canned. It's the only thing that comes canned. And there's one outfit in on Dauphin Drive in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, called Chewy Products. So they sent me a case of this stuff, and my dog didn't like it. So I was on an automatic thing, and they sent me another case of this stuff. So here I got 2 cases of food my dog doesn't like, so I'm getting mad because they sent it arbitrarily. They didn't even send me a notice to see if the first case worked. So I call, and I get this gentleman named Patrick on the line. So I'm ready to vent, man. I'm ready to give him hell. And so I tell him what happened. He said, well, we got other products. Would you like to try some sheep and some beef and venison and what have you. And I said, yeah, I would. He said, well, I'll tell you what. You donate the stuff that we sent you. I'll give you a full refund, and we'll send you 2 new cases of the stuff and see what she likes, what your dog likes. And I said, man, this sounds like I'm in America again. This sounds like the way I want to do business. So I complimented the guy, and he's probably listening now. So Patrick, and anybody that has dogs that need live feed, Chewy Products is the company, Chewy.com.
And we won't bill him for that.
No, the ad is not going to be billed to you, Patrick. It's
all
free.
right. Yay for USA-made products.
Yay for USA-made products.
That's
yes,
good.
Sir.
Well, today, our guests in the studio, we have 2 guests.
Okay.
Katie Mitchell and Haider Salah, right?
Yep.
And we're going to talk about Syria, which has been in the news almost constantly, every single day. And everybody knows what's going on. Russia got involved recently. But what is your take on that? In fact, do you have relatives over there?
Oh, yep.
You
Yes,
do?
I do. My dad's still there.
Your father is?
Yep.
Is he didn't immigrate anywhere?
No, he's in the southern part of Syria, and it's in Druze state. It's called Al Suwaida, and basically that's the only state so far that has not been affected so much by
ISIS
and all these militant and all these extremist Muslims.
Well, it's only a matter of time, probably.
Well, they've been trying with us for over 5 years so far, and they've been just trying to tell us to join them or go against the government or anything, just to rise up. But
are they mostly Syrian Christians, or?
No, the state of Suwaida, it's all Druze. It's Druze. Yeah.
Oh.
And basically, we saw what happened to the rest of Syria, and we saw what kind of damages it happened. So basically, we just said, we'll stay out of this. We protect our state, and because one of the Muslim extremists, at first, they gave us 3 choices that we did not like. They told us either become Muslim. If you don't want to become Muslim, you could just pay us a fee. If you don't want to become Muslim or pay us a fee, the 3rd choice will be cutting off your head.
Not much of a choice, right?
Yep, exactly. So those words just made us stronger, basically. Basically, we're like, you can't force us to do anything. You step in 1 foot into our state, you're not going to like the answer.
Do you support Assad?
Oh, of course I do. Assad been helping our state and been opening a lot of routes that has been blocked by these militants, and those routes are important for us, to get our daily things.
But what about the reports that he's killed thousands of his own people?
Those reports, any country, no matter what, you're fighting extremists, and these extremists will hide in schools, they will hide in mosques, they will go in between people. Basically, if they say that he killed thousands of his own people, where's the proof at? A chemical attack and all this stuff. There's videos that launched recently. It showed those videos were all fake. It showed that these people, after the camera kept on running, these people were acting like they can't breathe, they're dead. There's a lot of blood gushing out of them. That's what they showed on TV.
We saw the ones where the children couldn't breathe and died.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there was actually chemical weapons there, but who did them was the question.
Well, those videos, like I told you, they're fake videos, because recently there's a video that got launched. They showed after what happened after they stopped shooting. The dead guy that was supposedly dead, all of a sudden he woke up. The people that were on the ground can't breathe. All of a sudden they stood and they were just high-fiving each other. It's like they were just making a little movie, claiming that the Assad gassed his own people.
The videos I saw of those children all dead, they certainly faked it well if they weren't.
Well, most of these kids were dead but who killed him? It could be these militants that killed him, or these rebels that killed him, claiming that the Assad group did that job.
Katie, what's your take on that?
Well, I certainly agree that the media can do a great job getting its message across to us and showing us what it wants us to see. I think if our current government wants us to view Assad as an enemy because that furthers our differences with Russia and China, just like it wants us to believe in, I think that they would go to any length to show us that is what they want us to see.
Yeah, he just came out today and said that on the news about, we've got to get Assad out of there. That's his main goal right now, and he doesn't like Putin interfering. But, a lot of people say, take care of ISIS for us, if you want to do that. Now, where they bomb, they say they're bombing some of our American-backed rebels, I guess. But
well, that's kind of funny to say American-backed rebels, because you could say the same thing about ISIS. ISIS wouldn't be there without our assistance.
Well, I know they started over in Iraq, and basically we abandoned Iraq, and they allowed that to happen. And now he doesn't want to go back and do anything about it, except for the air strikes, which are mostly ineffective. And what do you think of Putin going in and helping Assad?
Well, Putin basically only been there only for a few days. You can't really judge him right away. Putin is doing a job that no other country, was going to do right. Because let's say us American people right here, we always complain that why is it United States always got to get involved? Why is it United States always got to fix the problem? Why is it? Okay, so there is another country that stepped up to take the job for once. So let another country do that. Instead, the United States spend their money and resources on doing something, and let Russia take care of the job. And there's a lot of countries right now offering to help the Assad, like Spain is offering their help. There's
yes, there's a lot of countries that don't believe what Obama is saying,
exactly.
And that that he killed hundreds of thousands of his own people. But you say that's all propaganda.
That's all propaganda.
What is your take on that, Greg?
Well, you see the deal. We had a conversation, Heidrich and I, a few years ago, and when he was telling me about Assad, when I was defaming Assad and not defending him, he defended him and said, this man walked into homes and visited homes, private homes, before this all went down. And he came and he went to the people and took his message to the people directly in their homes.
Oh, yeah.
I had to think, that couldn't be just somebody gassing these people, just not in the character.
He once walked into a town by himself with no security or anything, dressed up as a normal guy. Walked into an old house with an older lady that lives there. He walked in there and drank a cup of tea with her. He talked to her. After he left, 2 days later, she received a lot of aid from him. They fixed up her house. They made it better for her to live. They gave her enough food, and she's living way better right now. He did that more than once. Like, he goes to restaurants, and no one. He just walks in and get a table like everyone else, sits, eat dinner, him and his wife, and just leave.
So you think it's peripheral damage when there is damage, when casualties occur? You think it's a peripheral thing because of the war, because of what happens in war, because of the atrocities that happen in war? Is that what you're saying, or are you saying it's all made up, all contrived by the media to plant this picture and get rid of Assad?
Well, if one Syrian human, let's say, got killed by one of the Assad missiles, of course the media is going to launch it and keep talking about it for months just to make him look bad. And of course there's a lot of propaganda. Like there's a lot of videos that you guys saw, like gas bombs in field, and there's a guy holding his phone filming it. I'm like, if you think about it, how the hell this guy's surviving, standing right there right next to that bomb and leaking all kind of chemical gas supposedly, and he's standing right next to it and just videotaping it with his own cell phone.
Yeah.
how come he didn't get affected?
Sure.
There's a lot of propaganda behind that, and there's a lot of document that says ISIS too were making chemical weapons in Turkey, and Turkey let them do that. Turkey is the one that let ISIS into our land and into Iraq, and they opened up the doors for them, basically, to go into Syria and Iraq.
How do they do this? Just open their doors to carte blanche, or what? What do they do?
All these groups, all they have to do is, from Europe and anything, just gotta make it to Turkey. Turkey would take care of the rest. They had the vehicles ready for them. Hundreds of Toyota trucks. Some people say, "Oh, is it because Toyota is Japan involved?" No, Japan is not involved. It's just that Turkey purchased these trucks, and Japanese people didn't know what the hell these trucks were purchased for.
And the other day we found out that the ammunition and weapons that we were giving to the rebels, they gave them to ISIS for free passage. And I mean, these are our weapons. We're spending millions and millions of dollars.
Exactly.
And they're falling in the hands of the enemy.
Yep.
And with the rebels, okay. Now they say there's very little difference between the rebels and ISIS. Now I don't know if that's true.
Well, what about that story about spending all that money in Jordan to train some rebels to fly?
We had 5 pilots.
5 pilots, and how many millions of dollars they spent on those?
$40 million.
$40 million.
Well, they said the other day there's 9 pilots now.
No,
but that's still
they upped the numbers. Well, maybe those are the guys that they stand next to the original pilots.
And Obama claims that it was. It's in fact that's in the day's paper. It says no proxy war in Syria. Obama says. And he says he acknowledged that U.S. strategy, particularly his program to train and equip Syrian fighters to counter Islamic State extremists who have taken over parts of the country, has been less than successful, I would say. Then he had hoped, but he has, but a deeper military engagement wasn't necessary. It won't be necessary. He said for them, he wants other countries in that region to come to Syrians' aid.
Well, there
but,
is.
You know, I've got friends that are Syrian Christians, and they said they did better. And they're big Assad supporters, and they said, we managed fine. He didn't bother us. He said, ever since I was a little kid, and he said he's 50s now. And he said, we've always managed to, have a peaceful coexistence with everybody. And he never bothered us until...
Since he took over, he moved Syria forward. He brought all kind of new technology to Syria. Syria basically was just moving forward. And I guess a lot of Western countries, maybe they don't like that.
Well,
they want us to stay behind.
Jealousy, for sure.
You want to give out the phone numbers in case somebody wants to call?
Yeah, if you need to call, you can call local calls at 1-909-888-5222. And long distance is 1-888-909-1050. Again, 888-909-1050.
That'll do it. And if you want to talk to us about what you know, or you
Ask
disagree,
some questions, or
if you're mad as hell about anything we've discussed, let us know. But if I don't know if there's a solution to this problem, but
there is.
Well,
there is a solution.
Let's hear it.
The solution is just to let these countries cut off the aid to ISIS, like Saudi Arabia, Qatar.
Well,
all these Gulf countries.
I was a firm believer we shouldn't be in there in the first place, but because this has been going on for centuries,
you got to ask
hundreds
yourself.
of years. These factions have been fighting, and it goes back and forth and back and forth, and
you can see what good it's done us.
Yeah. What's that?
Oh, you can see what good it has done us.
Oh well, yeah.
Being involved.
I mean, it costs us lives and billions of dollars.
An empire is expensive to maintain.
Exactly.
Well, just look at Afghanistan. In the news this morning, we just
still going.
Our planes bombed a hospital and killed some doctors. I think there were 6 American doctors from
Well, maybe they'll
Doctors
maybe
Without
they'll rally
Borders.
behind American doctors or something with status, you know.
They said there's a one-star general going to investigate and find out what's going to happen.
Give them somebody anyway.
They'll probably fire a sergeant. No.
It's interesting how we always accidentally bomb things like grain reserves or hospitals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing we're there helping.
Well, they say that Russia's bombed places that they shouldn't. But they need, like a general came on this morning on the news and says, we got to have, in order to be effective in bombing these people, you have to have eyes on the ground in order to direct them. And I know that being former military.
Sure.
But, you can't just do it and say, hey, I think they're in that building. Yeah, but there could be 15 children and women in that
Unless you
building.
don't care.
And that's collateral damage.
That's right. Unless you're Saddam Hussein, don't care. You just kill.
Well,
kill
if
it, leader.
Saddam Hussein stayed in control in Iraq, we wouldn't have that mess in Iraq or in the Middle East. Saddam Hussein had all these people under control. The Shia and the Sunni and the Christian, they were living door to door next to each other, and they were just neighborly, friendly, and everything. Right after Saddam got killed or got hanged, they took him off. All these bombings start happening in Iraq. Look how bad the situation in Iraq is. But all the time that Saddam, and Saddam was just an agent too for the United States. He was working with him like a CNN operator. It's the same as Osama bin Laden.
What made him effective? What did he do that anybody else did that made him effective?
Iron fist.
Iron fist.
I mean, in the country.
Yeah. Some people need the iron fist.
Okay.
You can't get him loose. And look what happened. He's not there no more. Democracy, you brought democracy to Iraq. Now democracy is equal to blood. Anywhere you go, take to democracy, there's a lot of people that would die. A lot of people would get killed. A lot of people will lose their houses. A lot of people will just be sleeping in different country on the side of the road.
But this ISIS disease, what is the effective cure for it? Well, how do we stop it?
Well,
where's the money coming? What's happening? What caused them to get so big so quick?
Well, if you look at how Hyder's hometown has managed ISIS on their own by being independent and strong and defending their borders, I think we could all learn a lot from that.
Maybe, yeah.
We take our own people into our own hands, we take care of our own, and each other can take care of their own as well. We can help our neighbors, and they can help their neighbors, and we could all live a lot more peacefully if we would mind our own business and keep ourselves safe.
The media is the one that brainwash people.
Well, you're like a little country in your province there, then.
Yes.
Protecting what you do have.
Yep.
But if you were attacked from all sides, you'd probably wouldn't be able to protect that. But so far, so good, right?
Yeah, so far they're attacking us from all kind of sides, from Jordanian side, from the Iraqi side, and so far we're doing good so far, thanks God, and hopefully it stays like that.
A military or
not military, just the citizens.
Is this a well-kept secret? Is it secret?
It's not a secret.
It's
all
secret.
citizens. It's all citizen.
The whole country knows.
Whatever weapons they have, they took it out, and they patrol their villages at night. They patrol the borders at night, and any stranger they see, they question him. And what are you doing here?
That's some cool.
Yeah. Well, I would say I don't have the answer, but we try to interfere in every country, and they hate our guts, most of them. So it's. Look at the United Nations and how much we give there, and the majority of the people that are in the United Nations vote against every issue.
I'd have to go ahead and say the United Nations makes me mad as hell.
Yeah. A lot of people.
That's the point.
A lot of people.
Well, we got a break in a minute for a commercial or station break, and then we'll be right back.
Okay.
So, and continue this conversation.
Yeah, a lot of good information, guys.
Do you like craft beer from microbreweries? Well, I'd like to tell you about Oak Hills Brewing Company in Hesperia. All of their beers are brewed on site from the very best ingredients. Yummy, yummy. Typically, they have between 12 to 14 beers on tap at any given time. And backed by popular demand, Mango Orange Wheat Beer. A delightfully flavored beer with orange and mango juice. It's a little light citrusy beer with a tropical twist. You can also check into some heavier beers, Grapefruit IPA and the Belgium Triple Redemption. You can also bring the kids. Oak Hills Brewing Company offers 3 crafted sodas, yummy root beer, zesty ginger ale, and cream soda. The kids will love them. You can also visit the tasting room and take the behind-the-scenes brewery tour. Oak Hills Brewing Company in Hesperia. They're open 3 days a week, Thursday from 3 to 9, and Friday and Saturday from 1 till 10. Go up right after you hear the show. For more information, go to their website. It's oakhillsbrewingco.com. oakhillsbrewingco.com. You'll find a map with directions and a list of all their beers. To find the best craft beer in Southern California, just remember Oak Hills Brewing Company in Hesperia. Take the 15 up to the 395, pass 2 signals, and turn right on Poplar. Oak Hills Brewing Company, Hesperia.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Once again, here's Lloyd and Greg.
You got any angrier?
No, I'm kind of mellowing now.
You're mellowing.
No, I'm very angry.
Well, everything that's, and we've been criticized. I don't know who's going to make the best presidential candidate. Basically we'll find out next year, but a lot of times that, there's going to be weeding out of the weak.
Sometimes you feel like you've had the worst, and now it can't get anywhere but better. And maybe some people will feel that way. I don't know.
No, what do you think we need?
What do we need?
Oh, what do I think we need? Well, I'm voting for Rand Paul. I'm sticking behind him. I know that some of the things he's said recently have been a little controversial to some people, but again, looking at some of the negative media that he's had, it's been shown that it was actually propaganda also,
Well, he doesn't have the financial backing, though, and he's got to have that. And they were talking about, he said he's in there for the long haul.
He is in there for the long haul.
But
his principles are exactly what I stand behind. He's all about personal freedom and civil liberties and maintaining our own rights. And that's really what's important, especially right now with what we've been going through with our current, we'll call it current regime.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, people with, money buys votes. I mean, if you can advertise, you can do all these other things, the specialties, and now they've got, these phone banks, and they've got the internet, which has been very effective for Obama, and now
everything's been effective for him.
If Joe Biden,
like a money machine.
If Joe Biden steps in, I don't know what would happen. They say he's
be different.
What? Are you sure he's vice president now? Keep the same old. It's hard to say. Rubio's got some good ideas about Syria and the Middle East, and quite a few others, have come up. But I don't know. It's going to boil down to these next debates.
No.
See how many more drop out. But what do you wish? Well, basically, a lot of people don't want to have anything. What candidate was it that said we shouldn't interfere with anything and don't give these people that hate us money?
Trump?
Was that Trump?
Trump?
Yeah.
Trump would say something like that.
Yeah.
Paul would also say something like that.
I mean, that goes along the lines, but...
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, we give billions of dollars to countries that hate us.
Exactly.
And it's not going to make them love us anymore.
We just signed a treaty with a country that hates us and going to use every dime of that to destroy us.
Yeah.
Destroy Israel, destroy us. And there's no common sense. I mean, 75% of the people say don't do this, and the congressman still votes for the.
Well, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, and naturally, a lot of people are going to, there's very few people that want to go along with that.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, 75% of Americans are
think that's
totally
what he said.
against that nuclear accord with Iran. And yet the politicians vote any way they want to vote.
Sure.
Or what's best for
Whoever's
their
paying them.
special interest,
Yeah, whoever's paying
the
them,
lobbyists, and things like that. That's why a lot of people like Trump. He said, I'm not allowing the lobbies to get to me. He said, I got my own money. And he's, a lot of his ideas are revolutionary
Yeah.
for what we have, and it shakes up the, that's what he's done. He's shaken up the entire political system. I don't know how that's going to affect the Middle East, but I'm sure that it would.
Sure.
I do like that Trump stands up for medical freedom for parents to make choices for their children without letting the pharmaceutical companies or government decide things for us. I do appreciate that aspect of his campaign.
But they just interviewed him today. I saw the interview, and he was talking about the immigrants that we're going to take in. He said originally it was 3,000, then it was 10,000. Now it's 200,000 people that we're going to take in, and we know that ISIS has some of these, the sleepers
Sure.
that are coming into this country, and there's no way right now to weed them out. It would be good if we could polygraph each and every one of them.
They should.
And I think so too.
I agree.
And I sent an email to a friend of mine who is FBI's foremost polygrapher, and he's on Dr. Phil all the time, Jack Tramarco. And I haven't heard back from him, but I said, is there any way that we could speed up this polygraph system to where it wouldn't take as long as the old system does? Because you got to do this and that. But, let's say,
There's a lot of screening systems.
Are you a terrorist? And then yes or no.
Yes or no answer, please.
He's
Not
lying.
currently.
Are you ISIS now?
No, but you could use...
Have you applied?
Just send his information to the country that he came from and see what that country would say.
if
See if
it
he's
were up to me,
actually from that country or not.
Use
Didn't you say the country of Turkey's allowing these guys to come in and actually
Turkey
give
might
them
start shipping
carte
them over.
blanche, but then when they leave, they arrest them and look good
They
to
make
the other
themselves-
countries, like
yeah.
they're doing some good?
Yeah,
Is that what's
Turkey
happening?
transferred these guys into Syria, and when most of these ISIS groups, like the soldiers, when they go into Syria and they see what's going on really and see how violent and cutting people heads off and just shooting people for no reason, they be like, hey, I didn't sign up for this. They'll try to leave through Turkey the same way they came in from Turkey, arrest them, then they return them back to the government, country they came from, and Turkey just makes himself like, oh, hey, we arrested a terrorist trying to escape.
No,
they
but
make
they-
themselves look good.
Belgrade last week, they reported that they opened a box and they found 10,000 forged passports from Turkey. And they found the guy responsible for that, but basically they were going to give them these fake passports, and there's no way for us to track down somebody. The system in Syria won't allow us to go in there and say this guy lived in this village all of his life and went to school here and did this and run his prints. They probably had a system at one time, but it's broken. So they said that one guy on TV said that they couldn't possibly check the background of each and every one of those, and they would have forged passports or no passports. And if we allow them in, what are you going to do? One guy says you got to put them in a special place and see what they do and who they contact.
Like the Japanese internment camps? This doesn't sound like a great idea.
No, it doesn't. But, when people, and a lot of times they didn't, a lot of people don't even know about those. When I went to Cal Poly, I talked to a graduate there, and I says, he was Japanese. And I says, did you ever go to Manzanar? He said, what's that? Didn't even know about this whole system. And I said, that was a Japanese internment camp. And I said, they were at Santa Ana.
Cal Poly, or not Cal Poly, the Fairplex used to be a.
They used to have one over here at
Colton.
Colton, the airport there.
Colton up on the hill.
On the hill there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, but a lot of people didn't know that, and that's part of our history, and they're not teaching it anymore.
No.
But what are they going to say about this? And as I say, it's an ongoing situation. I don't have an answer for it. We shouldn't be over there in the first place, but we're there now. So what's
your take on it, Heinrich? What do we do?
About the United States shouldn't be in there? Well, they're not in there. Just they're letting other countries.
They're supplying weapons to the other countries.
Yeah, they're accidentally dropping weapons in
ISIS territory.
in ISIS territory.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
or they're in the case of Iraq, they're dropping their guns and their vehicles and running. So they keep doing that, and it ends.
They learned that from Saddam,
badly.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll say, what was it last year? United States wanted to help the Kurdish fighters to fight ISIS.
Yeah.
So they promised them a shipment of weapons, and
it never came.
And it got approved through the Congress. No, it did go, but the thing is, like Katie said, accidentally dropping weapons in the wrong area. So they dropped those weapons in the ISIS territory, and ISIS got hold of it. That's like ISIS were running out of ammunition, I guess, or something.
Well, it's like the Keystone Cops. A lot of people aren't familiar with that, but they used to screw up all the time.
Yeah, that was
and never did the right thing. They just run around in circles.
Make money.
And yeah.
Sounds like government for you.
But you've got, you have to cut off their funding.
Yep.
And they have to try to do that.
That's the only thing. That's the only way you could defeat them.
That's what I was looking for. You have to cut off their funding.
Cut off the funding from Saudi Arabia. Like Saudi Arabia, what they did about, I'll say maybe 3 years ago, or a little bit more. They released about 5,000 inmates. They were on death row for rape, stealing, and other stuff that, Saudi, how strict they are. They
didn't cut off their hands for stealing?
They probably...
Probably had one hand, but they let them go, huh?
No, they had a plan for them. That's why they didn't cut off their hands.
Yeah, okay.
So they give them two choices. You either go to Syria and carry a weapon and fight, or if you stay here, we're just going to cut off your head. So I guess that's why they kept their hands. So they could carry a gun and go into Syria and fight.
Oh, okay.
So that's like 5,000 inmates. They were on death row that they released to Syria. That's
we kind of did that in World War II.
Yeah.
They but of course they weren't on death row.
Cuba
These
did
were
that.
mostly,
Cuba did that, yeah.
Yeah, but
Cuba did that with American boat people.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Castro sent you guys a lot of... he emptied his jail cells.
Oh yeah, with the boat people. That's right.
Yep. And he just kept on doing it until you guys caught on.
Yeah, well, we don't want those refugees coming here, 200,000, and we know there's going to be some sleeper cells in there.
Big time, there is.
Yeah.
There is.
Well, there are now, and, they're sitting back and not doing anything, and not even condemning.
That was my question for you guys. What do you think about these sleeper cells that are making their way into the United States and getting strong? How do we stop that?
They say there's training camps here.
Yeah, training camps and all that. How do we stop that, guys? Is there a way?
I heard on the news that there's villages right here in the United States strictly only for Muslims, and no one's allowed inside of that.
Okay.
I think that's like a little bit too much freedom right there.
Yeah.
You should be allowed in there and investigate and keep them on a watch list and see what they're saying and what they're teaching. And even inside their mosques in here, they're building mosques left and right. I'm not against Muslims or anything like that. I'm just against extremists. Any extremists in any kind of religion, like I'm not against Christian, but I'm only against extremist Christians. Any extremist in any kind of religion, those are the ones that's gonna hurt the country or hurt other people, because what they believe in, they're so hard-headed, you cannot change their mind, and whatever they do is just they always believe that they're gonna go to their own heaven, and they're doing the right thing.
Well, they're indoctrinated when they're little children. As they grow, they believe everything that
they've been taught.
Yeah.
Okay.
They've been teaching them since they were little kids. Yep. and
they help blow themselves up. They
well,
don't
yeah.
have any problem with that. The suicide bombers, they teach them
Oh yeah.
how to
At a
use
very
the
young
best.
age, yeah.
Yep. Bane free. All you gotta do is just press the button, and then you'll go and meet your 70 virgins.
Yeah, and the
they-
parents are very joyous about this fact. and
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, and
It's
they,
just-
one sheik was explaining those about 70 virgins. He told them each virgin you're gonna spend 70 years with her. Then the second virgin, after 70 years, she'll come up and she'll tell you, "Oh, it's my turn. Aren't you gonna spend time with me too?" So he's gonna have 70 virgins for each virgin for 70 years. That's the way
Well,
they were
then-
explaining it, with a river of wine. In Saudi Arabia, they don't allow
Sticky.
any alcohol in there.
Oh,
If you
that's
get
true.
caught with any kind of alcohol in there, you'll go to jail and then.
Did they say these 70 virgins are going to age? Or are they going to remain the
I was wondering that myself.
Well, the only thing is that confused me is they said 70 virgins, but they never said if it was females or males. So I'm not sure what kind of virgin they
How long
are.
do
a lot
they
of
stay a
ifs here.
virgin? Well, that's my take. How long do you stay a virgin?
Well, here we got a break for a minute, and we'll be right back.
Is it that time? Your car needs a smog check? Well, check out Quick Smog Check in Montclair. They guarantee your vehicle will pass or you pay not a thing. That's right. If it doesn't pass the test, what the heck? You don't have to pay. So what's the reason why you're not calling them? The number 909-626-5436. You can also drive right down there now. 5438 Holt Boulevard in Montclair. They're open 9 to 5, 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Do it now. No wait smog checks at Quick Smog Check in Montclair. 909-626-5436. Use the power of the sun and save money on your utility bills. Solar power has saved many residents as much as 75% on their utility bills. But finding a good contractor can be very difficult. Look no further. Euclid Energy Performance Contractors is a family-based business in Upland. They not only do solar panels, they also do windows, insulation, heating and air conditioning, and also custom remodeling. Remember this number, 909-285-4406 for a free energy evaluation. 909-285-4406. Or check out their website at www.eepcontractors.com. Euclid Energy Contractors guarantee all their work and products. eepcontractors.com.
Kcaa.
Lloyd and Greg will be right back.
Well, that's true. Eep! That was Euclid Energy. What was it?
Contractor.
Yeah,
Contractor, yeah.
Just,
Eep.
That's going to be
That's
their
their
new
website,
logo,
yeah.
At any rate, we're discussing the sleeper cells here in the United States, and there's always that concern, you know. We do have them, and they will be activated, especially when we got 200,000 more people, and they say most of those are able-bodied young men,
Sure.
not women.
Well, you know, the Saudi Arabians used to send them over wholesale to a well-known, before 911, to train them to be pilots at a well-known aviation company in Los Angeles. And they'd give them a huge allowance, $100,000, $200,000 for 3 to 6 months that they would be over here. And how many of those went undercover and participated in these terrorist attacks of 911 and the ones before?
Yeah, they caught a few.
You know, they caught a few, but how many exactly was, you know?
Well, the FBI, I know a guy in the
I'll run
FBI
himself
said
now.
they did investigate quite a few, and they tracked them, and some left the country, went back.
Sure.
So, I mean, but they're still there. And then we're releasing all these people from Guantanamo to go back and organize again. And,
Sure.
Exactly.
You know, this is...
At least when they're a suicide bomber, it's one time only, and they don't come back and organize anything, you know?
No.
That tells you something, maybe.
Well, Obama
You don't want to hear my opinion on that anyway.
Obama did release a few people from Guantanamo, and now those people, they're the top leaders in ISIS.
Yeah, they're Qatar.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
you know, they can't keep track of them for very long.
But
you know, we need people like you screening those people coming
Yes.
over, because then you could speak the language and you could know, you'd have a feeling of if they weren't truthful.
That's what's so
You can
nice
tell
about
from the
seeing these
accents.
young
You know.
people here talking about this. We got people
So-
that can do this, just what you're saying.
Yeah, you could tell because anybody could just claim, hey, I'm from Syria and I'm a refugee and I'm going to enter your country.
Where are you
Where's your
from? What
papers?
school
I
did you
don't
go
have-
to? And things like that. You could
Exactly.
say, okay, we'll
Yeah.
double check this. If they knew, I think if they knew, they would be subjected to polygraph tests, a lie detector test. A lot of them
They'll
would
find a different
refuse, would go.
Sure. They'll find a different way to get
They'll
in.
come through the border.
Just
Yeah.
like from Mexico.
They'd walk in through Mexico.
Or Canada.
That's a big open borders. But
Yeah, I know.
Like, remember back in Bush when he attacked Iraq?
Yeah.
Back in those days, George Bush said Syria is the #1 ally to fight terrorism.
Yeah.
Because Syria was helping a lot back then. Now all of a sudden, Syria is a terrorist country.
Well,
I'm
they
like,
say
come on.
that. Well, they said that Syria got most of Saddam Hussein's chemical weapons. That he dumped them off over there, and that's where they came from.
Well,
So
it's-
that's a possibility. He did admit that he had them.
Well,
and
yeah,
they did
Syria
take
is
'em. It
known
just-
known for years that they have these chemical weapons. They had them
Yeah.
stored and they're just sitting there. But so, which country do you want those chemical weapons to come over here and get it stored in the United States? Who wants that? Why would they want to move him out of Syria? But
Yeah.
I guess because of Israel was afraid of him, so they had to listen to Israel and do whatever Israel says. And most of the issues that we're having in the Middle East, most of it's coming from Israel.
What do you think about this Iranian nuclear accord?
Well, each country has the right to do whatever they want. It's
But
just
they
like
don't. They never kept their word, and they hate our guts. So
Well, it's not our business to get involved over there. We certainly should not have given them any money, and
Yep.
we shouldn't be assisting in anything they're doing. That's really the issue. We go over there, we make people mad, then they come back, they hide in the United States, and they blow us up.
we're we're the enabler.
Yeah, well,
That's the whole key. We give them money, and you don't get involved. Well, you have to get involved. You have to either stop it or let it go. And if you're not there to stop it, you enable them like you did. You give them $500 million or billion or whatever the number is,
That's what
and you
they're
enable them to get their
100
deal.
It was 150
And you
billion.
discover this field of uranium that they already had mining,
And then you allow them to sell their oil
yeah,
in
you
the
allow
open
them to do their
market, so
oil
that's
on the
more
open
billions.
cheaper price.
No sanctions, no embargoes, nothing.
Well, they put sanctions on those countries, but each time they put a sanction on any country
You
to
seen
hurt
what
the
Saddam
leaders,
Hussein did with the sanctions.
these sanctions is not hurting the leaders of that country.
No,
it's
that's
hurting
right.
the people of
The
that
people.
country,
Here.
and the people got nothing to do with it.
But here
Exactly
you're
right.
you're supporting Assad, and he has taken weapons from Iran.
Yep,
And
he is,
that-
and he's
What
not
was-
hiding that fact.
Yeah, but what was their initial purpose? Why did they give him that?
Yeah.
They wanted him as an ally, or did they want to?
Probably because they see the truth. Probably because they see that Syria got nothing to do with ISIS. Like Obama said that for a while he was saying that Syria created ISIS. I'm like, how the hell Syria created ISIS? If they're
With
coming from
American-made
Europe.
weapons.
No.
Here's your American-made weapons.
If they're coming from
Obama allowed it to happen.
He
Oh,
certainly
big
did.
time he did. He did allow it to happen. He allowed it to spread stronger, to get stronger, and as soon as they got really strong and they damaged... And the other thing, too, is that they're damaging the history of the country. You saw they blowing up all these old 3,000-year-old statues and all that. Just the
Museums,
old,
yeah, just
like
artifacts.
old
that-
cities. But so what's your goal? Are you trying to kill the tourists to that country after the war is over?
rewriting history. We don't want that to be part of history anymore. So
there's
why
a
leave
lot of
extending?
history in those countries. In the Middle East, there's a
Especially in
lot of
Syria.
history.
Is there any groups together to protect this, to protect your country's history? You know of any groups over there in Syria that
They're
are
trying to. They're trying to, but
Okay.
it's not
There are
that
people
easy.
trying then, but
They're trying, but it's not that easy. It's just
No,
that,
I didn't say
like I
easy.
said, they got some really, weapons that they're not supposed to have.
Yeah.
And these weapons, we all know where they came from. But even if they came from here, like USA would say, we sell weapons, but to a second party, but we're not responsible. Who's that party is gonna sell those weapons to? The third
right.
party. We're not responsible.
Well, we got
so that's the thing
we've
we
got
have.
coming weapons going into Syria from Iran,
Russia,
United States, Russia. Where else?
Russia, Turkey. all
Yeah, but I
those,
mean, there's enough.
vehicles, and Saudi Arabia just funding the money left and right. Saudi Arabia money doesn't mean nothing to them.
Well, they say that Iran's main goal is to take over the entire Middle East. So
that's
they may
propaganda right there.
Well, they're giving weapons to him. They definitely want.
Well, Saudi Arabia want it to be all Sunni. They want Iraq to turn to a Sunni state. They want Syria to turn to a Sunni state.
Yeah.
Like they already own Lebanon. Like one Saudi was in Lebanon about a few days ago. Then he got beat up by some Lebanese people because he was some Lebanese officer trying to give him a parking ticket. Then he spit on the Lebanese officer and he told him, "I'm from Saudi. We own this state. We give you guys a lot of money." A lot of Lebanese people heard him yelling that, so he got his butt kicked. And now the Saudi is what? They're gonna cut off the funding to Lebanon now?
Because he got in an argument with a police officer?
Yeah, he admitted. Yeah.
It can be a small thing,
But he was saying
he
out
didn't
loud.
learn never talk back to a police officer.
Never.
But somebody
in any country.
Like that Saudi that was in Beverly Hills speeding.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Going, doing whatever he wants. And there's 4 females
got
at the
away
same
with
time.
it.
Yeah,
He
4
got away
females at the same time suing him for rape.
Well,
he billed himself out for $300,000. Now what is he gonna do? Get on his private jet and fly?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
The other
And that's
On
it.
his way out of here.
That's what they do. They go to other countries. They practice the things they cannot do in their own country,
Sure.
like drinking, having sex with other female, drugs, whatever they want to do, because in their country they cannot do that stuff. So they go to different countries to do it, driving their Ferraris and on London and on the streets. So
Well,
it's all wrong. That's not the religion that you should be practicing.
Well, that's the privileged elite, and they've always done that. And
It's
for
thanks to the oil companies.
oh yeah, well we enable it. Here we are, enablers again,
Yeah, enabling.
to do
Word of
these
the
things
day.
to us.
Those big suppliers.
Oh, they are oil companies. They build castles for each prince.
Yeah.
Just let us have your oil. That's it.
Give us the oil.
And do whatever you want to any individual, and they try to claim diplomatic immunity, but it doesn't work all the time.
They get it.
And a lot of them get it.
Money
but
talks.
This guy that just had sexual relations with some of the help, he didn't have it. So he's
He'll
gonna
come
flee.
back.
Yeah.
He'll flee the country.
He'll come
For
back
now.
under a different name.
Yeah, yeah, probably. That was my brother.
Yep, exactly. Because each family has maybe a dozen of brothers.
I'm good. All right. At any rate, I want to thank you guys for coming on, and you feel free to call us anytime you hear something that we might be interested in. It makes you mad as hell. Katie and Hyder, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
it.
Anytime. Thank you.
Kenny. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is 1050 AM KCAA Loma Linda and KCAA FM Yucaipa 106.5 FM.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
A big Saturday rolls on. I'm Keith Irizarry. Michigan State avoided an upset bid for Purdue. They won 24-21. LJ Scott, 146 rushing yards and a pair of TDs. As for number 19, Wisconsin, not as lucky against Iowa.
Shotgun snap. Stabby back to pass. Throws to the sideline. Incomplete. It's deflected at the line of scrimmage.
It's game over.
Deflected at the line of scrimmage. I